Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a victorious Monday edition of the JP Peterson Show. And my Lord, what a scene it was yesterday at Raymond James Stadium, the 50th anniversary. Everyone decked out in their incredibly overpriced creamsicle gear. All the heroes of yesteryear were there. The heroes of today were here. It was a glorious Buccaneers sight to behold, no question about it. I hope you guys were there. If you were not, it was a very, very special day and an ending to maybe beat all endings. With all the pomp and circumstance that was going on, that was a script writing ending to what was really an incredible celebration leading up to this whole thing. Good morning to you. Long-suffering Buccaneer fan Nick Gettis from On3 Sports. How'd you enjoy that one?
Long-suffering no more. Let's add that in there.
Yes.
Long-suffering no more. I feel like it's like the theme of the Buccaneer season, and we'll get into it, obviously, but finding ways to lose football games. Now they're finding ways to win football games. So That's a fun development. But, yes, the whole 50th anniversary theme, I mean, I was tested, my creamsicle the creamsicle curse. I was about ready to get on your side, JP, about put this thing in the closet, lock the door, throw away the key. We don't ever have to see it again. Sell them all you want, but don't ever wear them again. I was approaching that level, but man, just what a weekend. What a weekend. Had a great time at a sister-in-law's wedding on Friday night at the Tampa Garden Club. Spent time with Jordan Hudson and Mr. Bill Belichick on Saturday. Whipped their ass, no big deal. No big deal.
Thank you for that one.
And then the Bucs do that what they did yesterday. Fantastic weekend in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it was indeed, and we'll get into the Florida-Miami game as well. Billy Napier hanging on by a thread there in Gainesville. A lot of the players unhappy. Fans are apoplectic. That was a very, very interesting game in a lot of different ways. So we'll get into that as well. But this is going to be mostly Buccaneers. So strap yourselves in. I see all you guys commenting already. We're going to get to all that here in just a second. We'll hear from Todd Bowles. We'll hear from Baker Mayfield. Listen, man, this is one hell of a win and one hell of a start for the Buccaneers. 3-0 for the first time since 2005. No team, no quarterback in the history of the game has come back when being down in the final minute of the game to bring his team back to 3 straight victories to start the season, maybe just three games in a row. Never seen this before. What Baker Mayfield is doing is unprecedented in the history of the league, and how he's doing it maybe even more impressive. He's not doing it with a full complement of players, not even close. I mean, yesterday there were guys on the offensive line that he's never played with before. Two guys playing guard that have never had any meaningful snaps in the NFL. I mean, you can say all you want about the Jets, but that's a professional NFL team on the other side with first-rounders galore all over their front seven. And you're taking an offensive line, none of these guys who have were playing in their normal positions, three of them not starters, and you're winning games. You're winning games. Not only are you winning games, but when the game is on the line and its most crucial point, and you've got to throw the ball and you have to pass protect against some of the most exotic blitzes that Aaron Glenn's going to send you, you're getting the job done. I don't know how. I mean, there are people that say, oh, the Bucs have won. They're 3-0 against 3 teams that are 1-8. And that's the lowest winning margin in the history of the league for 3 straight games. I don't care. I don't give a rip. Look at what the Bucs are doing right now. I mentioned all the offensive line stuff, which led to 7 holding calls, 5 in one drive, which is more than most teams have had the entire year. I mean, I don't want to make this about the officiating crew, but at some point in the show, I'm going to make this about the officiating crew. That was an embarrassment to the NFL. And officiating all over the league is an absolute embarrassment to the NFL. It is. All right, I don't want to get sidetracked because I want to give so much credit to these players. You're without Godwin. You're without Mike Evans for the final drive. Ibuka's working probably on about 70% with his hip and groin injuries. I mean, do we forget that Sterling Shepard was on the couch a year and a half ago? I mean, this guy has come off and made the biggest plays. Yesterday, another wide receiver screen to set up the game-winning touchdown or field goal. Emeka Ibuka with and that throw to Emeka Ibuka on that final drive, that corner route, that throw and that catch, unbelievable. Now, not to mention the catch that he actually made on the sideline that the officials botched. We're going to get to that. That's going to be a whole other segment. These official idiots that are running that were running this game yesterday. It's beyond. I mean, the NFL has to be embarrassed, completely embarrassed. That said, so you got the offensive line issues. You've got no all these other guys that are out. Don't forget Kalijah Cansey defensively, one of your best players, also out in this game. It just defies the pale that you can go out and continue to win games with this many injuries and the way in which you are winning these games. You know, Chase McLaughlin, who was in a horrific slump, hits 54 and 55 yarders. You go 1 for 5 in the red zone, a lot because you can't run a lot of the stuff that you want to run with all these offensive linemen. I mean, the playbook is pared down. And I asked Baker that this week, and he said the playbook is wide open. I mean, that's just not. I mean, he wants to say that to make sure that the Jets think it is, but that's not even possible. With two guys who have never played meaningful NFL snaps, no, that's not how it works. But here they are finding ways to win games. 14 penalties in the game, and you still win the game? Find a way to win. The Bucs have never won a game in the history of their franchise, 50 years, with that many penalties, 14 penalties for 125 yards. Just one thing after another, but this team, this resilient bunch, this resilient band of Buccaneers just will not lose. They will not lose. Last year, 2-6 in 7-point games. So far this year, 3-0. 3-0. Now, did I like the fact that the Bucs blew a 17-point lead to the Jets? No. Did Todd Bowles go soft defensively? 100%. But with all that, this team, and then this, wearing this ridiculous color that is so deliciously beautiful that we all love, but you can't win games in this color. It's almost impossible. And even with the curse of the creamsicles, somehow, I mean, a guy jumps the center and blocks a field goal and is running down the field. And I think I have it here. Oh, I have to reload it. And then Todd Bowles says, what was I thinking? I was thinking, you got to be fucking shitting me. And you know what? Those were the exact words I said in the press box as I was watching Will McDonald run down the field. You got to be fucking shitting me. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy what went on yesterday. And, you know, the fact that every Buccaneer legend is there and watching this game. And, you know, and everybody's thinking of the Bucs of years past and how they would give games away. And this one would have been at the top of the freaking list. This would have been at the top of the freaking list of giveaway games. But not this team. Not this year. And this is starting to feel like a bit of a magical year. If this team can get Tristan Wirfs back, can get Godwin back, can get Gedeke back, can get all these guys healthy again, this is going to be one hell of a football team. And the fact that they've already stacked 3 wins, 3-0, 86% of the time you make the playoffs as a 3-0 team. 86% of the time. So you can look at this, and we'll talk about all the flaws and the things that we didn't like in this game. But the bottom line is this freaking resilient band of Buccaneers is 3-0. And with all the shit that's happened, it's a major miracle. And I for one, am here for it. You got the Eagles coming in or banged up as well. And this is going to be one hell of a showdown next week. What a fun day. What a fun day to be a Buccaneer fan, thankfully, in the end. Unbelievable. What are your thoughts, Nick?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The Bucs in all three of these games so far, they have done some very stupid things. They've done some ridiculous things to try to lose these games. Don't get me wrong. But this team has a gene in them that they stay in it mentally. They never stop fighting. They never lose their belief. And even watching it yesterday, even with the field goal that happened and Will McDonald running the other way, in the moment, it's like you said, are you, effing, shitting me? And you looked at the clock and you're like, okay, the Bucs got a minute 50. You look at Baker, there's no worry on his face. There's no panic on his face. They've been there before. They know what they need to do. I guess I just wasn't as worried on that last drive. And that sounds weird to say, but I felt like the Bucs were going to do it again. They were just going to march down the field and they were going to make the plays that needed to be made. And, Chase McLaughlin, it's so crazy. 7 days ago or 6 days ago, we're talking about, the Bucs need to get us someone. People were talking about the Bucs got to bring in someone to do a kicker tryout, because it's all about, what have you done for me lately? The Bucs didn't do any of that. They trusted in the guy that they're paying a good amount to be the kicker of this football team. And he goes out there and hits 5 field goals yesterday, including 2 from downtown. And then mentally, after what happened, quite literally, 5 minutes earlier, to come back knowing that you have to kick again, that could have gone into his head a little bit, even though that wasn't his fault. And he just nails it right down the middle. Calm, cool, collected. The Bucs go 3-0. And we can talk about the many standout performances of yesterday. And of course, Baker's going to be the headline for that football game. Everything that he had to deal with his offensive line, no running game for the most part for a large stretch there. Josh Grizzard had to get very creative to try to, sort of scheme their way to victory there, I would call it. And by the way, if you're Josh Grizzard, first 3 games in the NFL calling plays, and this is what you have to deal with. I mean, my goodness. I mean, let's put some flowers on him, but also let's give some flowers to Todd Bowles. Because right now, JP, there's 3 teams in the NFL that are finding ways to win, even though they have injuries at very key spots. One of them is the Bucs, one of them is the Los Angeles Chargers, and one of them is the San Francisco 49ers. All 3 of those teams are 3-0. And when they talk about the Chargers, yes, they're talking about Herbert and how he's leveled up, but they're talking about, wow, what an outstanding coaching job by Jim Harbaugh. When they're talking about the 49ers, they're talking about what an outstanding coaching job by Kyle Shanahan. We should say this about Todd Bowles. We rip Todd Bowles when things go wrong, probably rightfully so. We probably don't put enough love on him when things are going right. I wanted to give him his flowers today because not every coaching staff can find a way to go 3-0 with all of the injuries. I mean, yesterday they played that game without Tristan Wirfs, without Cody Mauch, without Luke Gedeke, without Michael Jordan, without Jalen McMillan, without Chris Godwin, without Kalijah Kancey, and then Mike Evans gets hurt in the 4th quarter, and they still win a football game. And by the way, you can try to say, I'm concerned a little bit because they only beat the Jets by 2 and they had to do it. You know what? This is the National Football League, man. I don't know if you paid attention yesterday, but the Green Bay Packers, everybody was saying they were the best team in football. They just lost to the Cleveland Browns.
That's right.
They found a way to lose a football game yesterday against a really bad football team. The Bucs haven't done that yet. Okay. And that's why you have to be super encouraged. I wanted to get greedy. Everybody's talking about try to go at least 2-2 while you have all these injuries. To hell with that. You're 3-0. You got a stranglehold again on the NFC South. You've given yourself some comfort room early. Yes, Eagles is going to be a little bit tough. We can get to that later in the show, I'm sure, and throughout the week. But man, the resilience of this group, it's just unlike anything that you've seen from a Buccaneer team. I mean, obviously the 2020 team, the 2021 team, all the talent, they had that gene in them too. But this one's right there with them. I mean, that was just an outstanding finish. And finally being able to win a game in that uniform too. I mean, can't be overlooked.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. And we're all talking about it in the press box. Like when that kick is blocked, it's like you were up 17 points in the 4th quarter, and this is what's going on. You got to be. This is so Buccaneers, but this team is just different. This team is different. Baker is different. Baker is just different. I mean, the run he had on the sideline. He's probably about 70%. I mean, that was
man. If not for the shoestring tackle, he was going to take it all the way to the house.
65 yards. I know.
Oh, that would have been electric. It would have been electric.
Yeah. What he's doing, that the throw he makes to Ibuka, the two throws he makes to Ibuka on that final drive, and the one, and how in the world do you not replay assist that Ibuka catch on the sideline? I mean, it was even Jonathan Vilma got that one right on the broadcast. It was such a virtuoso catch. I mean, it gets tipped, he bobbles it, he secures it, drags one foot, hits the other, and he knew he caught it. He knew he caught it. He held the ball. You know, he wasn't going to give it to the ref. He was waiting for them to blow the whistle and do replay assist because it was final 2 minutes, can't challenge. Todd Bowles is waiting. Everybody's waiting. The replays are on the board. The crowd's going nuts, and everybody except that the referee. And they're doing. I'm sure replay assist is looking at it. How do you call that not a catch? And then the one in the end zone with Lazard, you call a catch.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't want to be that conspiracy guy. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to say it's fixed. But that game, what are you doing? It's 13, what is it, 23-6 at this point, maybe 26, whatever, 26-6. It's 3 minutes left in the game. That's fourth down. That, you know, and I hate to say this, but if that is ruled correctly as an incomplete pass, the game goes under, the Bucs cover. It's a totally different betting outcome. And I would lay money, and a lot of it, that there was a ton of under money on that, a ton of under money. I don't know exactly. I guess we can find out, but it was probably 70 to 80% on the under. And that flips it to the over. And it's such a ridiculous call. Have you ever seen a ball slightly bobbled that actually hits the ground ever called a catch? Ever. Now you have to secure it with both hands underneath, and then the tip, just maybe a seam of the ball touches, they're going to give it to you. If you're holding it like this with the outsides of your hands and it's falling down your leg and you're cradling it and and a large part of the ball touches the ground, that is not even close to a catch ever that I've ever seen.
I know it's why
it just happens to flip the over and eventually the point spread. And this is why people like me go, "What are you effing doing? What are you doing?"
Yeah, I mean, I know you said you didn't want it to be like the big story of the game, but like it just was, because like these are plays that potentially change the outcome of the game. That's the problem here, right? And I'm always, and listen, I'm the first one to always say we shouldn't talk about the refs because sometimes, you know, you shouldn't put yourself in these situations to have to put it in the referee's hands. I'm always that guy. But yesterday was an absolute travesty. I mean, off the top of my head, it's got to be the worst officiated Bucs game I have ever seen. 14 penalties for 124 yards. Now, most of them were of the holding variety. Am I going to tell you that none of those were holding? No, I'm not going to. You got to call some holding penalties, and they always say that there's holding on every play. Doesn't mean you got to call it every single play. No, and it felt like we couldn't go 2 plays without a holding penalty, and many of them were very, very ticky-tacky.
Very ticky-tacky.
And then how many times? I mean, I think I counted 4 or 5 times, too, where they threw a penalty, and then they picked it up right after. Like, they were just in a flag-throwing mood yesterday. I don't understand it. And then, yes, the Allen Lazard touchdown, I mean, I thought that was clearly, you know, it hit the ground, and that's not a catch, and they call that. The Ibuka catch, I mean, that's a shame that a play like that gets wiped away. But, again, give it to the Bucs. They just keep fighting through it, though. And they come back, and Baker hits Ibuka on the other side of the field where, Ibuka looked like he just straight up snatched it out of the air. It was a great throw, but that was kind of a tough play for Emeka Ibuka to make, and he makes it like a pro, even though he's a rookie. He's not a normal rookie, though. I think we're learning that quickly. They just keep fighting. I think that's the whole theme of that game. And so far through these first 3 games is the Bucs just have a group that is just continuing to stay in it mentally and fight and find ways to win. And that's not normal around the NFL. And that's the sign that you are a damn good team when you're able to do that, because only the ones that you're talking about in Super Bowl contention are the teams that are finding ways to do it. And the Bucs, make no mistake about it, they're right there. I don't care what Drew Brees had to say yesterday on the Fox broadcast. My goodness, I love Drew Brees. I don't understand what he would do. You heard that yesterday, JP?
Oh, I heard it. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the nonsense. Nobody in the NFC South scares you. There's not much. What did he say? Something about there's not much difference from the Saints and the Bucs. Yeah, what did the Saints do yesterday? Someone remind me.
It's literally the stupidest thing I've ever heard an analyst say.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. My God. and the fact, and I love Drew Brees, and he's a great dude. But to come on there and say that as a longtime member of the Saints is a ridiculous embarrassment. You know, if you're coming on and you want to be a homer and that you're going to tell everybody I'm just going to be a homer today, I guess that's okay. But come on, dude, you're ridiculous. You're absolutely ridiculous on so many levels.
Yeah, and that's fine though. That's fine though, because I think this goes to show you what the Bucs are. It feels like, the Bucs never get their due from the eyes of the national media. And what did Todd Bowles say at the beginning of the year? They weren't with us when they were picking us to be last and everything, and they're not with us now when we're actually continuing to win games and win the division. So we don't care. We're looking past it. You look at Baker Mayfield. I mean, this guy continues to play with he's not Michael Jordan, but my goodness, he's got the same level chip on his shoulder as like Michael Jordan did. And he continues to find things that piss him off, after what he said yesterday about, Steve Wilkes and everything. That guy cut me in Carolina. It was personal. Like, this guy's just finding ways to get himself even more motivated for these football games and not lose. And I think that radiates to every other player on that 53-man roster. And that's the sign that, again, you've got the guy, the franchise quarterback and the leader of this football team. And his name is Baker effing Mayfield.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love, as he said this week, we don't take any shit. We don't take, and there is an attitude about this team that just permeates it. Listen, one of the things of being a person that's covered this team for 28 years and covered sports for 40 years and covered a lot of championship teams, you can smell it, you can taste it, you can feel it. There's a special chemistry and vibe about championship teams. And I'm not saying this definitely means this team is going to win the Super Bowl, but they have everything they need to win the Super Bowl in terms of the medal. They've got a roster that can do it. They've got a coaching staff that can do it. Look, we're going to beat up Todd Bowles for his 2-6 record last year in 7-point games. We're going to throw him his flowers for the 3-0. And I think game management, I mean, we talked about it all last week, letting them score with 2 minutes to go. That was a stroke of genius. And I'm not saying that's something Todd Bowles would have done in years prior. And yes, he has a game manager. And yes, it's helping. It's helping out tremendously. But it's the mettle of this team that does not quit offensively and defensively. And they make plays when they have to. This is something that you always saw from Derek Brooks, whether he was at FSU or with the Buccaneers. When they needed a play, that guy steps up. Rondé Barber steps up. Warren Sapp steps up. Lynch steps up. Brad Johnson steps up. I mean, it's just these guys are just made for that moment. They do not shy away from it, but they grow. They grow. They become their best. And that is something that you can't teach. You can't coach. It's just in you. And when a group of these guys comes together collectively, that's when you see something special. And you really, really feel it from this group. And again, to your point, I don't stop with the teams they played are 1-8. They've only won by the skin of their. I mean, look at what they're dealing with. Look at what they're dealing with.
Yep.
Yet they still get it done. And you can put the officials on top of that yesterday. This was a game that should have ended 23-6 with the Bucs taking a knee. That's what this should have been. And it turned into, hey, listen, from a entertainment standpoint, which is, I guess, what the NFL wants, let's call the games. Let's go to New York. Let's use replay. It's effing wrestling. Nick, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. This is what they do. Hey, let's make up the storyline as we go along. We get to make all the decisions in New York. So let's make decisions. If it's just something we can kind of, that could go either way, let's make it go the way to make the game more interesting. Even though that kind of Lazard catch wasn't even close to something that could go either way.
And
but
even
you're holding
on
the final strong.
Yeah, and even on the field goal that got blocked and returned the other way, I think it was Greg Auman who said it. He said, why? I didn't notice it either when it first happened, obviously, because I think we were all just sort of like stunned at what just happened. But Greg Auman even said that it looked like Will McDonald landed on the left foot of Elijah Klein as he jumped over the line. And the rule is you can't make any contact with a lineman for it to be a legal play. And I guess Klein was trying to point that out to the officials. So you can count that one, too, into the books as well as another. Again, that's 2 scores. That's 2 scores. It's 14 points that probably shouldn't have been there.
Not even close
to begin with. And if that doesn't happen, I mean, the Bucs have a 2-score win. And, what are we talking about here today? We're talking about how we're talking about how the Bucs took care of business and got to 3-0 in a nice, easy fashion and did what they were supposed to do against a team led by a backup quarterback and Tyrod Taylor. And that's that. But again, that just wasn't the cards they were dealt yesterday. But I keep going back to the fact that they stayed in it and they just find a way to make plays, and they have championship DNA in it. You said it, JP. I mean, you've covered 2 Super Bowl teams. You know what it looks like. You know what it feels like. And I think this team so far has showed it. I mean, to win a game in the NFL with all these backups, let alone win 3, that's just not normal. It's just not normal. And it's not going to be like this forever. The Bucs are having the most horrible injury luck that you could possibly imagine right now. Probably right next to what San Francisco was dealing with. And I mean, it's not going to be like that forever. They're going to get healthier and they're going to be a lot better. But being able to be 3-0 and saying that is a hell of a lot better than being, 1-2 or something and saying that.
Exactly. And that's, when it comes down to this, don't forget, once they get past midseason, there's a lot of games that are very winnable at the end. And this is a team at 3-0 now. We were saying, hey, 2-2 we take. And then, with the injuries hit and everything, we're like, hey, 2-2, we'll be fine. Now we're 3-0 and a chance to go 4-0. The Eagles, the Eagles were badly outplayed yesterday. And this is a team that's not nearly the team that won the Super Bowl. But they are also 17-0 in their last 17 games, by the way.
Right.
So they know how to win too. So we got plenty of time to talk about that game. There's a lot more we got to talk about, and I want you guys to have your say. We have got, I think, over 120 comments already, so we're going to get to all of that here in just a second in our next segment. The next segment is all you guys. We're going to hit all your comments. We really appreciate you jumping in. So we'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side and get to all of your comments. Wait a minute. I got to play this real quick. Can I just play? Which one is Bowlesy? Can't really see. I think it's this one. Just a.
Oh, my thoughts were going from when you run for a touchdown. Use my language like you gotta fucking be shitting me. Then after that, you see how much time on the clock, and you calm down, and you try to win the game.
Oh my God! Is this a new Todd Bowles? Oh hell yeah, man! This guy, he has become quite the podium entertainer.
I love even the comment he had. I don't know if you have it down there either, but the one about Payne Durham when he was asked, I think by Jenna Lane about, because he came out of the tunnel and he had his arm around Payne Durham. And he's like, me and Payne have a relationship that not many people know about. And then he pauses. We're secret lovers. It was just like, nobody saw that coming. He just kind of threw it in there. Like he was feeling himself yesterday. He was feeling it.
Oh, and even in his weekly Wednesday press conferences as well. It's like, Janet's going to ask those questions. She wants to get all the personal stuff, which is fine. But I love the way Todd is handling it now. And she asks those questions like, we're secret lovers. Yeah, you found out. You asked the question and now you know. So it's great. It's great. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side and get to all of your questions. If you have questions about Todd and Payne Durham being secret lovers, we'll get into that as well. Group, JEEVES, lawgroup.com. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. Get your free consultation at jeeveslawgroup.com. Give them a call. Tell them JP sent you. Non-attorney spokesman offices, Tampa and St. Pete. And the great folks at Genesis of Tampa. Go check out the Genesis cars. They are right there off of 275 on Nebraska and Bears Avenue. Beautiful showroom right there and tremendous cars. The technology, the luxury, and the price and the value off the freaking charts. Genesis of Tampa, genesisoftampa.com. Back in 3. Stay with us.
Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience Advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park, so free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at On-Site Construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine & DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine & DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine & DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine & DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Thank you guys for jumping in. Please like and subscribe on our YouTube page. Also on our Spotify and Apple pages as well on the podcast. We really appreciate you guys. And if you want to contribute to independent media, you can hit that QR code down there at the left, or you can super chat us on YouTube. We appreciate all you guys. And we're brought to you by the great folks at Riveters. We had one of our commenters in here say went to Riveters yesterday, and it was bumping. Free parking. Yeah, you get free parking. Go in there, pregame, Get all the cheap drinks before you head to Ray J to buy your $25 beers and drinks. Fantastic. Good stuff. All right, Nick, you want to get to some comments here? Away we go.
Let's do it. We got a lot to get through.
I'll start with this one from Rick. Big balls, Baker. I love that. Triple Bs. Please don't count on the defense to close out a game. Listen, I'm with you on that. Like, as long as we get last at bats, I think we're going to win every game. Baker and 4 downs, and it doesn't even matter who he's got out there. It could the offensive line, receivers. I mean, it's just insane.
It's not like the defense is a problem, though. And let's remember, they were the reason why the Bucs were in that game against Houston. I mean, that was all the Bucs defense for the most part. I mean, I think the Bucs defense has actually played really, really well through 3 weeks.
Well,
and they got hosed a little bit yesterday.
With 3 minutes left in the game, okay, it was 23-6. The Bucs had returned one for pick 6. Hello, Jamel Dean. Hello, Jamel Dean.
I have some great numbers on Jamel Dean this morning.
Oh my God! When I saw that ball, I'm like, first of all, Parrish misses the sack wide open. Tyrod steps up, or Tyrod, throws across the field, and I see my eyes go to it. I'm like, oh, it's all going through my head. I'm like, oh my God, that's a pick 6. And then I'm like, oh shit, it's 35. I see 35 on the chest. I'm like, he's gonna drop it. He's gonna drop it. And then he catches it, and then he starts running down the sideline, and I'm like, "Oh my God!
Yeah,
oh my God!"
Even Kenny Albert on the broadcast couldn't believe it was Jamel Dean. It started with Benjamin Morrison, Jamel Dean. Like he thought he went through 2 rookies first before he realized, it's Jamel Dean. You know, I had to take off my glasses and wipe him down real quick to make sure I was seeing 35. And I said I had some great stats on Jamel Dean, JP, today.
Go ahead.
These were via Josh Capo from Pewter Report. I mean, listen to this stuff. Yesterday, he was in coverage 34 snaps. He had 1 target his way, which ended up being the pick 6. 0 catches allowed, 0 yards allowed. Jamel Dean pitched a shutout yesterday. Okay, outside of Garrett Wilson, the Jets don't have the greatest receiving core. If you go through the 3 games total, 99 coverage snaps. He's been targeted 13 times. He's given up 5 catches for 34 yards. That's a 14.6 QBR allowed. Jamel Dean is playing the position as well as anybody in the National Football League right now. So, again, Jamel's taken a lot of heat from the fan base, and again, perhaps rightfully so. But he seems like a player that is playing this year like he's heard it and he's understand. And I think that I have to thank the team, and obviously by the fact they asked him to take that pay cut, he knows he's got to play better. And right now he's playing the position, like I said, as well as anybody across the league. So shout out Jamel Dean today.
Well, he needed a kick in the ass. They gave it to him big time, and he's responded. Why wasn't he covering Garrett Wilson? Bantry says, agree, Rick. Where's the press coverage? Yeah, exactly. Where they played a lot of zone yesterday. Wilson had 10 catches, close to 90 yards, and a touchdown. Yeah, that was later in the game, it appeared that they really, really backed off. But listen, when you got a 3-score lead, I mean, that's what you kind of got to do. Because, listen, if Tyrod Taylor gets a couple of cheapies over the top, deep balls, and you're in one-on-one coverage, what are we going to be saying? Why the hell are we not playing 2 deep safeties up 3 scores? I mean, come on, guys. At some point, you have to play the situation. But that said, when it got closer, I think you got to go back to playing a little bit more aggressive defense. And like on the play too, on the 4th down play, I like 4th down when we rushed 4 from the 5-yard line. And 7 in coverage. And you freeze the tape where right before Tyrod throws, as he breaks contain and is running up the middle, has entire passing lane because the 4 guys that are rushing went to the outside. And he's running up. And it's like, okay, Lazard is wide open. Garrett Wilson is wide open. There was a 3rd player, I forget who was, 3 guys wide freaking open in the end zone. What are we doing? I hate that freaking zone defense on the 5-yard line. And you rush 4. You're not getting any pressure rushing 4. because that one really bothered me. So I'll go with you on that one. But for the most part, that defense was playing really good. You'd given up 6 points with 3 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, and they should have had even more. I'm not sure how many sacks they got credited with, maybe with 4 or 5 yesterday.
4 sacks, yeah.
Would have been a lot more because they were all over Tyrod Taylor all day, whether it was just
he played great.
Yeah, I mean,
he was fantastic.
Rush getting there or the blitz and all that stuff, and we know Todd loves to dial up the blitz. I mean, I thought they were giving Tyrod all he could handle, and I think Levante David missed 2 sacks of his own. I think Parrish missed a sack. I mean, they were just getting it so close, but not being able to get them. But I still think the line of scrimmage, they controlled that against the Jets. 2 offensive tackles, Olu Fashanu, and the other kid, Armand Mimbu, who both had a great start to the season for them. They lost the battle yesterday against the Bucs. There's no doubt about that.
Agreed. Bucs basement, Mr. Negative. Morning, JP. The refs were insane yesterday. So many calls that were not called in other games yesterday. Ibuka caught that ball. Hope Godwin and Wirfs are back for the Eagles. Agree with all that. It was just awful. And he reminds us we can't get away with that sloppy play against the Eagles. Bowles defense needs to actually play all 4 quarters to win and never take their foot off the gas. I get that. Absolutely. But again, with all the crap that's going on, the injuries, everything else, the officials, this team still won the football game. And to Nick's point, the Falcons got smoked yesterday. The Browns won. I mean, you look all over. It's a toss-up every game. It doesn't matter who's playing who. Bantry said the ref sucks, but both teams had to play with them. Yeah, but I think the Bucs got the raw end of the deal most of the time on all the big calls. There were some bad calls that did not go the Jets' way, but for the vast majority of the calls went against the Buccaneers. There's some other folks in here. Klein and Haggard have been with the Bucs on the practice squad for a couple of years. That's true, but they've never played any meaningful snaps in the NFL. You can be on, yes, they know the scheme for the most part, but getting in the game, especially in the trenches and learning how to play, is a totally different deal.
I think the major thing with them, obviously, the holding penalties were bad, but the Bucs just could not run the football yesterday. I mean, they tried. I mean, I think Bucky had like 25 carries. Yeah. For like a 2.4 yard average or something like that. They still managed to get to over 100 for the 11th game in a row, but that large was because of Baker doing his part, scrambling and whatnot. But I think that was the big thing you lost with the new look O-line yesterday is they just could not run the football. But what are you going to do? I mean, what other options did you have? You really didn't have anything.
Baker, I think, had 44 yards rushing, yesterday, and of the 122 that they had. But great stat, though. The Bucs have run for 100 plus in 11 straight games, and they've not given up 100 in 11 straight games.
I mean, the Jets at one point had a 4th and 1 around their own 45, I want to say it was in the second half. And they just tried to, turn around and hand it off to Breece Hall. I mean, if you're doing your scouting report on the Bucs defense, 4th and 1 and you're running the football against this team is not a play. It's just not a play. The Bucs run defense, even without Kalijah Kancey, Vita Vea, if you look at him on tape this year, he just has moments where he's just like, nope, you're not coming through. You're not. No. The second you make contact with me, I'm stopping you. And then everybody sort of rallies to it.
And if you run away from Reddick, you're not getting to the line of scrimmage.
Right.
Because he's, you typically are not blocking the end on the offside. And if you leave him scot-free, he's going to get to the point of attack before your running back does. And he did on that play. He's so freaking fast. But I like to see him get more pressure on the quarterback, frankly. Kenneth McClary says, I'm telling you, we got to sacrifice a live chicken to get this voodoo shit out of Tim. Okay. Look, and the worst part about it is we got 2 more retro games, right? 2 more?
I'm not sure on that one.
Yeah, we're going to wear them at Seattle for the 1976. Yes, right. And then we're going to wear the actual orange creamsicles for our Falcons game later this year, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not a uniform guy. Well, you guys are, but I know we're doing it 3 times, and that's just tempting fate. And,
Hey, but listen, through the first 3 games, JP, they have 1 on primetime. They have 1 in the creamsicle, the white one at least. And they are 3-0. It's 3 things that they just could not do, and they have checked all 3 off the list. So maybe
beating Atlanta that we lost a couple twice to last year. Yeah. Douglas Batista says yesterday's win equals resilience. O-line by committee, bad officiating. Example of Buka catch not called. Blocked field goal for 6, and they still won. Next week will be harder, but let's enjoy 3-0. Again, blocked field goal for 6, that's about that happens to you, you lose 90% of the time, just like a blocked punt. So they're bucking all these trends because they're making plays when they have to. Bantry says they need that duck on the sidelines again. LOL, I think you're right. Yeezy says, to be fair, refs gifted the Jets a touchdown on the 4th down, and blocked field goal touchdown is not on the defense. Yeah, and that's a 14-point swing. Absolutely. I thought the defense, for the most part, played really, really well. To your point, they couldn't run the football, and really, I don't think Tyrod completed a pass over 15 yards. I might be wrong. He maybe a couple of them they gave on the sidelines in 1st and 20 situations or something, but there was really no sustained offense by the Jets until the end of the game, really.
Right.
JS says, good morning, Petermans, and welcome to the 3rd straight Victory Monday. Damn right. Yeezy says, went to Riveters yesterday. Place was bumping, free parking, great food. We'll be back. I tell you, folks, it's a place to be. Nathan Elliott, Victory Monday. Absolutely. Nothing tastes better always tastes good on Victory Monday. JS said, did anyone else see Stu make a fool of himself and pretend to be a ball boy? The sale can't come soon enough. I have lots of thoughts on the Stu mania this weekend that we were subject to. Thank God I didn't have to be at the stadium, but I saw all the posts about it. We'll give him a little bit of his flowers, but I want to make sure that the record is set straight on what we're talking about here. To give this guy any type of beautiful send-off, to me, is an absolute joke, but we'll get to that later. James Rexroot said the main problem was Todd went back to his little security blanket and pacifier and played terribly loose zone, relaxed zone, 12 yards back zone, and really a prevent defense. I haven't broken down the all-22, which I'm going to do today, but yeah, there seemed to be a sense of, all right, we're up 3 scores. Let's let them bleed the clock and let them go down the field. Sometimes when you're up 3 scores, I think you got to wait till you're up 2 scores to really go that conservative because, for me, just send more at them and just take the ball away. You've done it twice. Go get it again. I don't know. It bothered me. No question about it. I thought the defense kind of, killer instinct. We've been talking about this. You got to have a killer instinct. Rex Root also says, even last year, Tony Romo and Tom Brady said, I don't know what you call this kind of defense where you play 12 yards back and let them catch a ball and run up and tackle them. It's not loose. It's I don't get it either. Why? I mean, I just, when you just allow teams to just catch the ball unencumbered, and I understand a little bit of it, but to the degree that the Bucs do it, it seems really weird.
It just doesn't seem needed this year because I already mentioned Dean's playing at a high level. Zion, is playing fine. And then the 2 safeties, I mean, Antoine Winfield Jr., he showed it again yesterday. Antoine Winfield Jr. is moving like he did in 2023, if not better, to be honest with you. And Tyke Smith, the transition from slot corner to safety has gone tremendously well. And you're even seeing Jacob Parrish and Benjamin Morrison making plays out there yesterday. So I don't think they had the horses last year when they were playing all that defense. Now they do.
Great
so
point.
That's the thing. I don't think you have to fall back and resort back to that.
I agree. 100%. It's just, yeah. I think Todd just has to kind of get out of that mode and understand what kind of talent he has on his team and let these players play. Simplify it. Let them go get it. Yeezy says the refs really did everything they could to make the Jets cover. Really insane. Yeah, the Jets cover and the game go over. I don't know if you can find this out quick, Nikki, but I know there's websites where you could find out like how much, what was the percentage on the under, what was the percentage on the over, what was the percentage on the Jets, what was the percentage on the Bucs in terms of the legal bets that are made. But I would bet there was a lot of money because the under came down, I think, by almost a full point on Sunday. Yeah, because I thought it was pretty obvious myself. And yes, I did lose the under bet. So I will admit to my bias here.
You had a hot start to the season. You were due for a little come down. For a little come down.
True. Yeezy says, how can we call Lazard's touchdown a catch and not a bet? It doesn't make any sense, bro. And that's the thing. It's just what hits the credibility of the NFL. We started this back with Bert Emanuel in 1999. We're going to control what's a catch and what's not a catch. And we're going to do it in New York under secrecy. Why can we listen into the ACC, which I love, by the way? Thank you to the ACC. One of the first things you've ever done right, Jim Phillips. We are now able to tap into the conversation as they look at the play. Why can't we do that in the NFL? Because you want to hide everything. And you want to make calls that make no absolute sense, no sense whatsoever to either affect the line, affect the betting. It's insane, and it's time for it to stop. It makes no sense. We know. I've always known what a catch is, and now nobody knows what a catch is because it's different. It's a different standard with every crew. Oh, but we're going to New York. There's no standard in New York. The only standard in New York is how do we make a call to make these games more exciting, like it's wrestling. Ridiculous. Yeezy says, I'm sorry, but Baker's the most clutch quarterback playing right now, not named Mahomes. Hey, listen, Mahomes was good last night. He was really freaking good. He pulled that one out of his ass. But Baker's doing the same thing. Baker's doing the same exact thing.
And Baker's not even putting the ball in harm's way either, like at all. Like yesterday,
No.
did he have a single throw where it's like, ooh, why'd you throw that? Or, that could have been a turn. I can't recall yesterday. He's just in such control. Like that's the thing where you see the biggest growth at Baker. And I think you would agree with this, JP, like 2023 and at times last year, there would be so much chaos going around. And then he would start getting, the feet would start really moving a lot in the pocket and he would be off balance a lot back there and just not looking comfortable. It's amazing that with what's going on in front of him and all the disarray around him, he seems to be as locked in and as comfortable as ever. And that to me is the winning gene right there.
Six touchdowns, no picks through 3 games. Remember, he led the league in interceptions last year. So, yeah, he is, he said it all off season when he was asked, what do you want to get better? I got to take care of the ball. Got to take care of the ball. And he's taken that out of his game.
Yeah.
He really has. Rick says, JS, I hope Todd didn't visit a voodoo priest this summer. Maybe he did, but it's working. Or maybe they just hired a game manager. But definitely something's different. But Bucks Basement says enough about Baker MVP talk. The only MVP he wants is Super Bowl MVP. Yeah, he doesn't care about any of that stuff. That's what makes him so good. Excuse me. James says the D was awesome. Sure, they softened up, but it was 23-6 for most of the game and 120 degrees on the field. To win this game with no guards, a center playing left tackle, a journeyman playing right tackle, what a great win. James, could not agree with you more. Louis from the Frozen podcast, Pirate Pod, says, a great question you asked Coach Bowles. Love to hear him curse a little bit. I didn't ask that one, but it is great to see him come out of his shell. Louis also says 14 penalties, 121 yards. Yeah, unbelievable. Just terrible. And just no consistency to the calls whatsoever. TJC22, good to see you back in here, my man. So keep in mind, Baker checked into that call after Wilk showed cover 0. Which one are you talking about, TJC? I would like if you could clarify that, please, because we talked about a lot of different plays. Yeezy says no complaints about the defense. 2 turnovers and an offense. Let them hung out to dry as well at the end.
I was going to say the offense did leave some meat out on the bone. I mean, we're excusing the field goal at the end because that's what they were playing for. There were times where they looked like they got on the other side of the field and things stalled out a little bit or penalties took them out and they had to settle for field goals. And I don't think you were maybe it was in the back of your mind, like, oh, is this going to come back to bite them at some point? And it very nearly did. But again, I'm giving that side of the ball as much grace as I possibly can right now, given the situation. I think you kind of have to. But in terms of looking ahead, when you play some better teams, it's just some stuff that has to get cleaned up.
Listen, no turnovers in a game again.
Right.
Have they had a turnover this year?
Who, the Bucs?
Yeah.
Not that I can recall at the moment. They've had some near things where, like, Rashad White jumped on the ball last week. There was the one play too where where Baker, it looked like he might have thrown it behind the line, and then Emeka Egbuka, he goes out and does his best Rashad impression. and was able to bat the football back and jump on it, but it ended up being a forward pass, so that didn't count. But yeah, off the top of my head, I don't recall that they had a turnover yet.
And to that point, when you go 1 for 5 in the red zone, maybe part of that is Baker throwing the ball away or pulling it down and running it instead of throwing it in harm's way, right? So if in a game like this where your defense is playing so well and the Jets are not really threatening, and the only thing that's going to kick you in the ass is get a blocked field goal for a touchdown. That might hurt you. Or get a pick six or something like that where you gift them a touchdown. So, that's one of the reasons I think they were 1 for 5 in the red zone is they were just playing a little bit more conservatively, and I think that's the right way to go. Sure, we want to blow out every team, but sometimes you have to play to the situation. I think they did that. Buck and Kane says, great football weekend. First, my Canes put a belt to the ass on the Gators, capped by the Bucs winning games we would have lost last year. Hey, we'll talk a little bit about that in our second hour about the Florida-Miami game, but I want to get to that. Very interesting game in a lot of different ways. And, boy, how it sets up in a couple weeks for FSU, Miami in Tally. Ron DeSantis is already tweeting about that today. Buck Spacer says, how many games is Mike going to miss? I hope it's no more than 2 to 3 games. Godwin and Ibuka and Shepard got it for a couple of games. Listen, first of all, Sterling Shepard, holy moly. I mean, how good has this guy been? How good has this guy been just making plays? Reliable.
Wide receiver 5 of all time. I mean, this is literally, he's wide receiver 5. Doesn't it feel like every time like the Bucs seem like to have lost some momentum on the offensive side of the ball, or it looks like things are going south, it always feels like Baker finds a play and it's Sterling Shepard. It's just like the comfort zone. He finds ways to get open, usually against zone defenses, it feels like. He just finds himself in these little pockets and makes plays, gets down, avoids hits. He's just doing all the little things right for this football team. So absolutely, he's one of the unsung heroes of the first 3 weeks of the season.
The execution of that wide receiver screen that they run, where they get one blocker out there. They did it for the touchdown to Ibuka last week on 3rd down. Shepard had a key one, this one that put him in field goal range on that last drive. That is, can we say a little bit about Josh Grizzard? I think, he's the one calling these plays in these final minutes. Sure, Baker's making the plays, but let's give a little love to Grizzard as well.
Yeah.
I think he's doing a hell of a job.
I think that was
his first 3 games, he's dialed up 3 comeback wins in the last minute. I mean, we give Baker the credit, but let's give Josh a little credit too.
Oh, yeah. I think that was the play, by the way, that TJC 22 was talking about, because he said the Shepard play. Yeah, he said watch the TV copy. Audio was awesome. You can hear him check into that call.
Yeah, and I think he's checked into that a couple of times to, it's been very successful check at the line. Louis from the Frozen Pirate Pod says, is there any quarterback in the league outside of Baker that is doing more with less right now? I think Mahomes is doing a lot with less. But he and Mahomes, I think, are playing the best football of any quarterbacks in this league right now, except for maybe
Herbert is looking pretty good over there in Los Angeles.
Or how about Danny Dimes in Indianapolis? What the hell is going on there?
That's true. JP, they punted for the first time yesterday, so clearly this is this is coming to an end as they scored 41 points. Yeah,
the league is catching up.
Yeah.
God, what in the name of Anthony Richardson is going on there? What else we got here? Lonnie Wilkins, good morning to you. Said I need a Todd Bowles. You got to be fucking shitting me, sure.
Someone's going to be on the case today. I'm sure the shirts are already in process from somebody.
Do we have a Mike Evans update? Not yet. I think Bowles speaks at noon today. He came off the field. It didn't look good. It did not look good. He was as
frustrated as I've seen him before.
Yeah, it did not look good. Super hot day out there. But, I mean, it's not like the Godwin situation, although we were up 3 scores, I think, at that point again as well. But, it's just been so troublesome. And it didn't look like a season ender, though, to me. It didn't look like I'm laying on the ground, I'm not getting up. I mean, last year's work looked worse.
Right.
And, it was 3 games for that one. So, yeah.
I mean, we've been down this road before with Mike with these hamstring injuries. So it's like, I'm not saying like we're immune to it, but we just kind of know how this goes at this point. But it does, again, it's just unfortunate because next week, I think according to the Schefter report, and I think we all pretty much assume this anyway, it looks like Chris Godwin might be able to go this week against Philly. So you get him back, and then it's like, okay, now you lose Mike and everything. But it's nothing new for the Bucs. I mean, they know how to do this at this point.
And it's not easy. It's not easy what they're doing, folks. No. Yeezy says, and yes, Chase Bank is back, baby. What do you have? 55, 54, four field goals. And to your point, you said earlier, and I talked to Chase after the game, and to have that kick blocked in your face like that and run back, that's got to make you a little gun shy. I mean, you got to block that out. So I was talking to him after the game, and I'm like, was there a protection breakdown? Did something happen there that you had to correct? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, yeah, you're probably not in those meetings, are you? He goes, no, they just leave me alone. Just kick the ball. And I'm like, that's probably like, he's not over there like where they're, when they're going through the protection, like, what did we F up? And then what they did F up is Decker, the center, and the guards. When you block, you got to kind of come up a little bit to avoid somebody jumping through, and they're going to have to make contact with you. So they teach them, you got to stay low because you don't want to get blown up like Jordan Davis blew up the Rams offensive line. So you got to stay low a little bit. But it's kind of, you got to rise up a little bit, get your head up so you can, if there's somebody coming at you and try to jump over, you can put a hand up, or all you got to do is make contact with a little bit. And it's no play. Like they can't do that. It's
just so crazy. You hardly ever see things like that happen in the NFL. These blocked field goals going back the other way. We saw it twice yesterday in the span of 5 minutes. Like I had the Bucs game up and I had red zone, and Jordan Davis does that for Philly to win them the game. And then I was like, oh wow, that's a crappy way to lose a football game. And then little did I know, 5 minutes later, it was coming to the Bucs. So yeah, the witching hour was crazy.
We're sitting down in press row there, and Catherine Smith from Spectra Sports she goes, oh my God, the Eagles just blocked this kick to win the game. And we're all like, where? And then we're looking at it on the phone, and we're like, oh, look at that. Like, we never seen that. And literally 5 minutes later, we're all like, oh my God, this just happened again. Like, what do we do? And there was a third blocked field goal. It didn't turn into a touchdown, but there was a third blocked field goal yesterday. So, I mean, we're seeing a lot of blocked punts, blocked field goals, missed kicks this year. There's a lot more excitement in the kicking game than there's ever been. And I wonder why. So to continue my conversation with Chase, I did ask him about ball preparation, and he said, yes, it is it's different this year. Normally we get the balls for an hour before the game, and we can get them the way we want them. He said, now we have unlimited amount of time to get them exactly where they want them. I asked him, I said, are you using them in practice? He said, no, we're not allowed to use them in practice. So I think there's some, I said, and I asked him, I said, so is there something to it? And he's like, and he goes, I don't know. It's just, he goes, I just try not to think about it. I just got to make my kicks. And that's right. And we asked him, he said, was it cool that the Bucs didn't bring anybody else in last week? He's like, yeah, that really helped me out. So all you knuckleheads out there last week, they were yelling and screaming about getting rid of Chase. And I told you to chill. And no, don't bring somebody in. That's a dumb thing to do because it's all here, bro. It's all in the brain.
My thing with it, it's like, I understand, like, we're Bucs people, okay? We've been down this. We know what a broken kicker looks like wearing a Buccaneers uniform, okay? But my thing was, and I know the adage is the whole, you're only as good as your last kick. But Chase McLaughlin has put, with all respect to Ryan Suckup, probably, and even Martin Gramatica, the two probably best seasons of any kicker that I've ever seen in Bucs history. Is that fair to say?
Yeah,
like he put those together. They paid him. I mean, I think he's the most accurate kicker in football over the last 2 years. Yep. Like, just because he has a couple of off games to start a season, like, this wasn't like a Younghoe Koo situation where there is a sustained, sort of sample size of this guy's missing clutch kicks. No, this to me was the same thing for the Ravens for years. Like, if Justin Tucker, and it never really happened until last year when he went through a downturn, like, they weren't thinking like, okay, Justin Tucker missed a kick today, we got to bring in a new kicker, or in Pittsburgh, Chris Boswell missed a kick today, we got to, you know what? They don't do that because they know these are the best kickers in football. And Chase McLaughlin's one of those guys. And who are you going to bring in off the street that you're going to feel comfortable with? The answer's not there.
Aguayo? Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah. No, well, exactly. Who are you going to go get? You're going
Like the Falcons brought Parker
kicker.
Romo. The Falcons brought Parker Romo, and he makes his 5 field goals on Monday night. Well, guess what? Yesterday, he missed 3 kicks.
Yeah, and they got shut out. What? I'm going to go back and watch that game. Well, what the hell happened there?
I don't think you need to.
No, I got to find out because I think the Falcons are a pretty good team.
I just don't understand how you could put that performance they did on Monday night and then come back 7 days later and do that.
Bizarre.
I don't get it. And Penix, I mean, he was bad. And they put Kirk in at the end of the game.
And this is a sign. When we tell you about the Bucs being like everybody's rowing in the same direction and being a tight-knit group and everybody's on the same page. And this is how does it manifest? It manifests itself in winning 3 games at the gut. And how does a bad chemistry and bad juju, how does it manifest itself? You go out and you win, you play a great game on Monday night, and then you come back the next week and you lay a complete freaking egg.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and that's who the Falcons are.
That's what I'm saying. It tells you that the Falcons are not done falconing yet. They're still in that stage, whereas the Bucs look like they have turned that corner. And so, again, until the 100%. Falcons tell me that they're done doing that, stop putting them in the same conversations as the Buccaneers. End of rant.
All right, I got another, 40 comments to go here, and we're going to get to all of that. I love you guys jumping in here, so I appreciate you taking the time to get in here and comment. So we want to give you your time. This is what this show is all about. That's why we call it Fan Stream Sports, for the fans. That's what we're here for. But we are going to get to college football over the weekend. I see your UCF hat. I should have worn a little bit of FSU stuff today because we just can't stop scoring 66 points. I mean, it must be stop. Nice. Yeah. But hey, thank you for that little bet that I made on UCF. I didn't bet you for UCF. I kind of bet against North Carolina because they're awful.
Oh yeah, I have some great stories about that game.
Idiots, you idiot! Oh, it's Bill Belichick in the ACC. Wait till he teaches these coaches a few lessons. Please. Jordan did look good though in that little outfit she was in. She was look.
I actually look at
that.
I was going to say right when I got through the media entrance, I was walking over to the tower to go up to the press box, and I just looked up and I told my partner, I was like, "That's Jordan right there walking up to us." And so it was the first person I saw was Jordan Hudson. I was like, "Okay, we're ripping that Band-Aid off quickly here. She's right there." and then I'm like up in the press box for the game, and I'm not usually down on the field before the game because I'm like eating upstairs and doing stuff. And the guy that was sitting next to me in the press box, he was down on the field. He comes back upstairs and he puts his phone in front of me. He's like, "Get a look at that." And I looked, and it was like he was like the paparazzi. He was like the one that spotted Jordan and Bill Belichick, the picture you probably saw this weekend that was going viral. Yeah. Them on the sideline doing God knows what, talking about God knows what. So, I mean, there was that. And then, after the game, it's like I skipped the Scott Frost press conference because I was like, just for me as a media person, like I got to go to the Bill Belichick press conference.
Oh,
I got to experience that.
Yes.
And he just walks in with like a full posse. Jordan walked in front of him, and she stands literally right there on the side.
No.
Oh yeah, she's everywhere he is. She is. It's crazy. Like it's actually insane. Everywhere she is, that's where he is. And he comes in, and I'm thinking, okay, let's see if Bill's changed a little bit in his college day. No. I mean, every time, like every question that was asked, Bill is just like he's just chewing his gum, Alex Golesh style. And he's just deadpan as could be as ever. It's like honestly scary, JP. I don't know if you've ever been around. I don't know if you've ever been to a Belichick press conference. It's like I'm just sitting in my seat and I'm looking at him.
I have not.
He's just staring a hole through your. I mean, it's insane.
Did you ask a question?
Oh hell no! I was not going to be the one to.
Did somebody just say like Coach? Just just curious. What were you and Jordan talking about on the sideline? 3rd and 7. What we're going to run? What we're going to run on 4th and 2? What exactly was the conversation? Eyeliner? I mean, what are we? Outfits? Were we talking fits? What exactly was just interesting people on a even if I don't see coaches' wives, I see them. They're there sometimes on the sideline after the game. They'll be there, but yeah, I've never seen a coach's wife in a press conference. Never.
It's the whole thing is bizarre. It's bizarre, and they stink. By the way, they're
awful.
Stink. They're probably the worst Power 4 team out there, next to Oklahoma State and VTech.
Poor Max Johnson. Poor Max.
Yeah, I saw Brad before the game. He was hanging out in the concourse. He was talking to a lot of UCF fans who were coming up to him. I spotted him right away because he's huge.
Should have gone up and said hi.
He had so many people around him, and I was like, I wanted to go up and say, like, I do JP's show with him and whatnot, but he had so many people around. He had so many people around him. I was like, he looks like he's being bothered, but he was there nonetheless. Again,
he's never bothered. He loves it. He's a man of the people, and then he was there yesterday too.
Yep,
I got to see Warwick Dunn and Derek and Brad. Great showing yesterday. We'll talk a little bit about that in the. Well, we're already at the 11:14. We need 3 hours today, Nikki. We need 3 hours. All right, we'll take a quick break. We are brought to you by the great folks at don'tgouncovered.com. Folks, open enrollment is coming up for your health insurance. Go to find out if you can get a subsidy for your health insurance. You could get a serious subsidy for your health insurance. So let them check all the different Blue Cross Blue Shield plans that they have and find out exactly what might work for you. It's don'tgouncovered.com. Back at 3.
The Golden Diamond Source is working every day to be your family jeweler. Right now, a $5,000 engagement ring with 0% interest can be yours for just $83. So don't let the holidays sneak up on you this year. Now is the time to get ahead with their in-store layaway. Trade in your old jewelry for cash. Gold has never been higher. The Golden Diamond Source is offering the highest ever trade-in values for your gold and diamond jewelry. Now is the time to get your holiday shopping started. So come in now, relax, shop, and save at the Golden Diamond Source. We love Julie and Steve Weintraub, great local philanthropists, and you can find them at 3800 Omerton Road in Clearwater, where you'll always find the perfect gift, only at the Golden Diamond Source. Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club.
JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, you're going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show. It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES.
With this record heat in Tampa Bay, you better have your AC unit running at peak efficiency. Third Generation Plumbing installs the best American standard AC units. Our split systems offer the highest efficiency available while reducing energy bills and maximizing comfort. That's why Third Generation Plumbing trusts American standard air conditioning, built to last, made to perform. Whether it's a new install or an emergency repair, our family-owned team brings 3 generations of trusted service to your home, now with the unmatched reliability of American Standard. Plumbing or cooling, we've got Tampa covered. Call Third Generation Plumbing today, 813-961-8024, or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. And we also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799 is the number you need to call. Let them do all the work. You save all the money with your business insurance, your flood insurance, or you can also you can have them make sure that you're fully insured. Up to most people, 40% are not fully insured on their homes. So when you need to get that payoff and you're not fully insured, that's not going to work out very well for you. So make sure you have all the insurance you need. Italiano will do that for you. 813-877-7799. Something weird going on in my headphones. What is that? You know? Something weird going on in my headphones. But anyway. All right, real quick. We'll probably get to this a little bit later on in the week. It's such a big win for the Bucs. All you guys want to comment on that. So, you know, we're for the people here. You watched that Florida-Miami game, or was that the same time as the UCF game?
You probably shouldn't do this, but I had it on in the car as I drove home. The second half. More so listening, though. Let me preface that. More so listening, but then I got home and saw the other stuff, and it looked like it was a very tight and close football game for a while there, and it seems like Florida just broke for them in the fourth quarter because it was 13-7 for much of what I was seeing, and then obviously
Miami dominated early, and they just go right down the field against the Florida defense. And Florida's offense was putrid. I mean, it was. Listen, I don't know what's going on with DJ Lagway, if it's the injuries, the offseason injuries, but this guy is a shell of the quarterback that we saw last year. Whether he didn't get his shoulder right, I don't know what the hell's going on with him, but he's not right. He's not right, and it's affecting a lot of obviously what they do offensively. And Napier looks like a complete deer in the headlights. He looks exactly like Norvell last year on the sideline.
He's just lost. He's just so lost.
He's completely lost. That offense, which has a lot of good players on it. I mean, Jaden Baugh, Trey Wilson. They've got a decent offensive line. They've got players.
Did I not say also last week? And again, I didn't watch all of the games, so I don't know how the flow was, but it was close the entire way. Did I not say you've got to figure out a way to get the ball into the hands of Jaden Baugh more than 10 times?
Yeah,
and he ran for 12 times yesterday. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's bizarre. There's no flow. There's no flow to that offense at all. Defensively, they hung in there really well. I thought the defense played really, really well.
Yeah.
Till late in the game, they were just exhausted, and it just, it got away from them. 26-7 was the final. I said all last week, this is going to be a slugfest of a game. I thought Florida would keep it close. I thought they would cover, and they had to cover till late in the game. But they had nothing on offense. They had absolutely nothing on offense, and he has no answers on offense, and that's sad because this is a very talented Florida team. I know from talking to some Florida insiders post game, there was a lot of conversation, not only among the fans. Obviously, the fans are gonna want Billy gone, but among the players, their families. A lot of consternation on what's going on in this program right now, and it's bad. It's bad, and this is a team that's way too talented. Now, listen, I have supported Billy Napier. I think he's a good coach. I think in terms of building a program, he's done a great job recruiting. But when it comes to game day, he's just clueless, and very much like, Mike Norvell last year, and I keep referring to that. And so what did Mike do? Mike went out and got 2 coordinators that are doing all the callings. He's now basically a CEO, which is what he's good at. He's good at motivational speeches. He's good at, he's not calling the offense anymore. Malzahn's got that handled. And they had 8 rushing touchdowns last year in the season. FSU had 8 rushing touchdowns in the game last game.
They have more rushing yards this season than they did last season already.
Yeah, it's just, and this is obviously it's 11 new starters on offense too. And I don't know, that's the first thing Derek Brooks asked me yesterday. Have you heard anything about Castellano's ankle? And I'm like, no, but I think he's going to be able to play this week against Virginia. That's a Friday night game, unfortunately.
That's going to be a tough game. Virginia, number 4 offense in college football, FSU number 1.
Yeah, it's going to be, but I think FSU's defense has got a little bit of something for them. I don't know how good FSU. Yeah, I don't know how good FSU is right now, but we're gonna, they could be really, really good. It could be really, really good. And I thought Miami, getting back to Florida, Miami, I thought Miami looked a little vulnerable. I thought Miami was really, really good, like unstoppable good, but that Gator defense clamped it down pretty good. And at times Carson Beck looked confused. Fletcher wasn't as dominating as I thought he was going to be. So I think Miami.
I still think Miami's. I think you could still make the case, like, if you were ranking teams right now, I could make the case that Miami's number 1 in the nation. Like, I really could.
They're really good. They're really good.
And I think that just says, like, Florida right now is just a tale of 2 teams of what they are. I mean, offensively, they're completely lost on what to do and how to run a smooth operation. Defensively, like, that looks like a potentially SEC championship caliber defense. Like, is that too far to say? Like, that's what Florida looks like to me on defense. But offensively, it's like you mentioned, like, kind of comparing Norvell to Napier. Norvell had to suck it up this offseason and to say, okay, yes, the year prior I had a great offense and everything, and that's what I do. I call plays. But this year I see that I need to take a step back as a coach, reevaluate everything. This is year 4 of Billy Napier, and they have not exactly ever turned the corner necessarily. And he's still doing the same things. He's stuck in his ways. He continues to tell you that he believes in his offensive system and that he's going to continue calling plays when the evidence in front of you tells you his offense looks like a high school offense trying to operate in the SEC and college football at this level. And it just doesn't work. And there's players all over the place. I refuse to believe that DJ Lagway is this bad. Like, I already told you how much I think about Jaden Ball. And I think you have 3 or 4 receivers who are also really, really strong. And everybody knows Florida has one of the better offensive lines in the sport. It should look like this. And it's year 4. Like, at some point, Florida just needs to rip the Band-Aid because you're going to lose. I'm telling you, these guys fought for Billy Napier last year and saved his job. You're asking a lot for them to try to do that again. He's going to lose that entire locker room at some point. It's going to happen, especially for the defensive side of the ball, who continue to just keep them in football games only for the offense to sputter for 4 quarters.
Yeah, he should have done what Norvell did in the offseason, and that's hire an offensive coordinator and junk that whole offense and come back with something better, because there's way too much. I mean, has Dallas Baker even gotten a shot? I mean, all these guys we heard about, these fantastic players that are coming in at this receiver spot, and it's just nothing. There's nothing there. It's bad. But yeah, I think Miami's fantastic. I thought they were unbeatable, so they looked a little bit more beatable. But man, I cannot wait for that game at Tallahassee. Holy Lord. But by the way, quickly, UCF, very nicely done against the terrible opponent. USF puts up 60-some points on South Carolina State. They are ready for conference competition.
I think USF at one point I saw, I was reading on Twitter during the game, they had 55 points in like 9 minutes of possession. Something else, something crazy like that. USF needed that. I mean, they just haven't been able to take their foot off the gas at all to start the season, and they were able to coast through a game like that against South Carolina State. There'll be tougher games. I mean, Memphis is kind of around the corner, if I recall.
Yeah, a couple weeks. They got to go to Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis just took down Arkansas, so beat an SEC team. I know Tulane had a stinker.
Came from
this
18
week,
down to do it.
Yeah, Tulane had a stinker this week, I know, so that helps USF. But it looks like the American, it's a 3-horse race. The American's got some good teams this year.
Yeah.
They really do.
Well, yeah, that Memphis game, that's going to be huge. Huge. Cody says the game manager and Baker saved us again. Come on now. We got to start giving Todd a little bit more credit. Come on now. Come on. Bucs basement, Vegas made a lot of money on those plus 6.5 tickets. Yeah, especially when they come out of New York. There was a lot of money on the Jets, a ton of money. Jordan G says, no, JP, you could say it. Everyone thought the same thing. The spread told the story. And it wasn't just the spread. It was the over-under, too. There was a lot of money on that under. Trust me on that. Mike Edge says, you might be onto something with Vegas somehow controlling outcomes, you think? The refs wanted Jets to win. Sorry, JP. You don't have to say sorry to me. It's pretty odd. It's not that the refs want – to me, it's not necessarily the refs on the field. It's the fact that you can go to New York and then they make these decisions in a closed room, not explaining anything. Like, explain to me why you said that was a catch in the end zone. Explain to me, if you're telling me we think he had control of the ball the entire time as he went to the ground and the ball did – like, explain it to me. Like, he trapped the ball against his leg in the back of his hands, and the ball never the ball touched the ground. There's no question that the ball touched the ground. And have you ever seen a call where the guy isn't controlling it to the ground? The only time I've ever seen a ball hit the ground and someone say it's a good catch is when it's total control. Like, the guy's got it 2 hands under, but not like this, pinning it up against his leg. Never in my life. Never in my life.
I'm sorry. I'm cackling.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I'm like cackling over here in my seat because I was going to put this super chat that came up here late from Marty Aaron, $20 super chat or super sticker, I guess. And the comment underneath from B.
Seriously, $20 to JP. He headed straight to Boston. Can't get $20 lap dances anymore, B. Guess you didn't know. So we're gonna need a little bit more. We're gonna need a little bit more in the super chat, boys, to fund the strip club excursion for the JP Peterson Show. So let's step it up. Let's step it up with a little bit more of the super chats.
Yeah,
so
this is a bit more on par here. Maybe that $20 will buy you a Happy Meal after school. There you go.
For B, yeah. By the way, B, when are you going to tell us who you are? You say that I know you. Who are you? You have no nuts whatsoever that you cannot out yourself. Zero testicles. None. Like, what? You could spout. I mean, talk about a keyboard warrior. I know you and you won't show your face. Like, wow, what a spineless jellyfish. I love your. I mean, I'm trying to come up with every insult that I know, just to try to draw you out. But evidently, there's no spine whatsoever. Vertebrae, none.
Mm.
Yeah, none.
Well, I'm so sorry that I disrupted the flow of the show. You go back to the comments now about the actual games.
What's the actual super? God, there's so many comments.
He just left. No, he just left a sticker. He just left.
Oh wow! Thank you, brother. See that? Now that's what I'm talking about, B. Why don't you step up, fund the excursion to Mons? Bucks Basement says Bree still has PTSD from the Bucks sending him to retirement. Yeah, you think he's a little bitter on that. I'll see if I can find that because I did retweet it. What else we got? Greg DeCruz, good morning to you. Said lots of curses being exercised. Can't win in primetime. Boom. Can't win in throwback uniform. Boom. Can't win first 3 games. Why, yes, they can. It's a different team. It's a totally different team.
Comment here too. You mentioned some of this sports get Pat. You said really disappointed we didn't get more out of Reddick yesterday, except for the 4th down stop. I mean, we haven't gotten a chance really to look back at how it all went down, but maybe he didn't have the most lively game, JP, but this reminded me, I wanted to point out Yaya Diaby yesterday because Yaya Diaby had 11 pressures on 30 rushes. That's a 36.7% rate right there. And then he got a sack as well. So maybe it wasn't the most lively Reddit game, but it was the coming out party of the season for Yaya, who has been getting close the first 2 games, and he finally got there yesterday. So worth pointing out, especially they're doing this without Kalijah Cansey, and we know that's a huge loss.
Although Elijah Roberts, I think he played pretty well yesterday. He may be a huge surprise this year and much needed. I'm impressed. George G says the only industry bigger than the NFL is the betting money on the NFL. You ain't wrong. Yeezy says also on the block field goal, McDonald jumped on Klein's foot. Should have been a flag and re-kick or first down. Oh, yeah. But then, game's not going to go over. We're not going to have the spread. It's all that. We can't see that. And that's a replay thing, is it not? Could you not replay that and see it? Challenge it?
I don't know. And the fact that Todd even had to call a timeout, basically begging for them to look at it.
Greg DeCruz says, if you have replay, then use it or don't have it. Where we can see obvious mistakes that aren't corrected, it screams of conspiracy. Yeah, I don't want to be talking about this stuff, but you make us talk about it by these egregious mistakes. I mean, we act like it's really hard with replay. It's not. The ball was on the ground. You can clearly see it. And it was coming loose as he was going to the ground. He dropped I talked to Zion. He said, yeah, I knocked it out of his hand. I felt it. Yeah, you felt it. We saw it. Ball's on the ground. He doesn't have control of it. What are we even talking about? And then Buka on the sidelines. It's like everybody, like 65,000 people could see it on the Jumbotron. But the people that are supposed to be experts at this in New York with your mosaic and hyper HD TV and being able to zoom in, you can't see this? And better yet, why can't you be transparent? I mean, that freaking Aiden Hill or whatever the hell his name was on the mic yesterday, spinning the 1s and 2s like he's a DJ. And we had to hear from him how many times? But the only time you stay silent is when I need an explanation about what the hell you just missed or called. You can't tell me? Like nothing? I mean, you're begging for idiots like me to come on the next day and just go, look at this. Like, what are we doing? But I don't think they even care. It's like, whatever. People are going to keep betting and we're just going to keep having games. You guys can yell and scream all you want.
Well, these guys, just like MLB umpires, get to do whatever they want and make whatever calls they want and miss however many calls they want. And do you ever see the NFL or the MLB go, okay, we're going to pluck that guy out of the lineup? No, it doesn't happen. Like they're free of any consequence. So what does it matter to them? And you know what? They're probably not getting paid a great wage for all the stuff they have to put up with. So you get what you get.
Yep, absolutely. Louis says should have been 3 Super Bowls. Bert Emanuel caught that ball. It's just the NFL didn't want to see an 11-6 Super Bowl. 100%. I was there. I saw it. He caught the ball. No question in my mind. Greg DeCruz says, can we please stop with the non-football questions? A certain reporter always asks asinine questions. Okie dokie. What else we got? Nathan Elliott, good morning to you. Said that Todd Bowles, fucking kidding me, quote, I think Bowles had settled in and he realized that the Florida man be a real person mentality gets him embraced with the fans and media. Love it. Yeah, listen, I've said this for a long time about Todd is he's a different person we see it a little bit in the media, but everybody else talks about it. And we've not seen it until this year. I mean, I thought last year we talked about he was much more comfortable in his skin, but this year, like incredibly so. And it is great and it's wonderful and it's absolutely endearing to the masses. Absolutely, 100%. Todd, where's this been? Like, who told you can't show your personality? What Bill Belichick asshole told you that you can't be yourself? Be yourself. Everybody loves it, man. Like, loves it. Loves it. Don't stop.
Comment here at the bottom. Sergio Biltres said, do we still have any tight ends? I went and double checked this. Do you know the tight ends for the Bucs have 3 catches for 7 yards this year, or 3 catches for 25 yards this year?
Where's Devin Culp?
They must all be blocking or something because that is kind of interesting. I mean, all the injuries.
Well, they are. That's exactly what they're doing.
That has to be all they're doing is just helping out the offensive line. That's what I'm going to assume is happening there to answer that question. But anyway.
Speaking of Payne Durham, secret lovers, says Rick, the subterfuge continues. They probably have the Epstein files hidden at one buck place. Yeah. A lot of secrecy going on. Over there. Mike H says Riveters should start a tailgate theme for Sundays and actual trucks in the parking lot with tailgates down and smoking wings. Well, I think they want you to get inside the restaurant. But I don't know if you can. But there are people that sell street food out there over across from Dale Mabry. And by the way, if you've never had one of those sausages on the street over there, they're fantastic. Really good. Greg the Cruz says Jimmy Dean sausage with the pick six. Absolutely. Buck and Kane says, JP, I know today is about the Bucs, but the Canes look good and so did the Knowles. Gonna be a barn burner a few weeks, brother.
Yeah. They just announced actually 5 minutes ago that game. Not that this was this is a shock, but that game is officially set for 7:30 p.m. on ABC.
Doak is going to be great. So I think we do our show from Bowden's on Friday again.
Are you going up to that game?
Oh yeah. I ain't missing that one. Are you kidding me? I've been waiting 20 years for this game. How long has it been since a really good FSU Miami? Because Miami's been, I hate to say it, Buck and Kane, but you guys have been irrelevant for quite some time. As
I recall, the 2013 season, at the time they played, Florida State was number 3 and Miami was number 7, but Florida State won that game 45-7. Don't know how I remember that. I'm not sure if they've played a game since where they both were ranked. I don't know.
It's been a while.
So yeah, most important games over the last 25-ish years between these two teams.
Jordan G says, blitz like a maniac, and even though it works well all game, he suddenly stops when we have a lead in the fourth and switches to the soft zone prevent. Again, I'm going to watch the all-22 today, but it sure felt like that. It sure felt like, and the fourth down to at the end there that we were taught that I freaking forgot his name again. I blank on his name. The fourth down catch, or they called it a catch. Lazard. Speaking of Jamel Dean, yeah, he took a pay cut. Now he's playing a hell of a lot better. We should cut his pay again.
Hey, I give Jamel a lot of credit though, because like it seem like ever since he's spoken to the media since then, like he seems to like it didn't like maybe inside it bothered him, like because I don't think anybody wants to have to take a pay cut. I don't think anybody's going out of their way to be like, yeah, I want to take a pay cut, I'll do it. But Jamel could have raised a stink about that or requested a trade or anything like that. And it doesn't, I kind of like when like stuff like this happens and a guy responds by just going back to work and playing his best football. I think Jamel deserves, again, more credit for the way he's handled this whole situation, because it's an awkward thing.
All right, let's take our final break here. When we come back, I'll get into a little Rays baseball and the great tribute to the amazing owner, Stu Sternberg. I'm going to recount all the wonderful things that he has done for this community and baseball, and really send him off with a positive spin. That's my aim in my next segment. I'm working hard towards it. I'm going to go take a couple of shots at ThirdGenerationPlumbing.com, ThirdGenerationPlumbing.com, and American Standard. That is the dynamic duo to get your AC where it needs to be. If your AC is not humming or it's on its last legs, call ThirdGenerationPlumbing.com. They'll give you a free 1-year maintenance agreement with their installation, and the American Standard unit, which is the best, the most efficient, the most powerful, the most reliable. American Standard air conditioners and Third Generation Plumbing, a great combination. Go to their website, give them a call, and let them do what they do. And you can see all their 5-star reviews as well. ThirdGenerationPlumbing.com. Back in 3.
JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. It's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles! 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for my friend Jason Fawcett, owner of On-Site Construction. They do residential and commercial renovations and new construction. As a leading home builder and general contractor, On-Site Construction prides itself on transforming homes through superior craftsmanship, dedication to client vision, and an unmatched commitment to quality and service. It's about building relationships. We take the time to understand our clients' needs, preferences, and budgets so that we can deliver a personalized experience tailored to their unique vision. From the initial designs to the final touches, we're there every step of the way, ensuring that the end result mirrors your vision. Here are some testimonials from happy customers. G. Gibson says, no hidden costs, very honest, reliable, creative, and communicates well. Reasonable and fair with their pricing, no hidden costs. C. Smith said, did not disappoint. I'm very happy with the work. This company really cares and will take care of it. So if you're just thinking about building or renovating, give us a call and let's see what's possible. 813-579-5789 or check out our website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine & DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine & DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine & DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine & DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go! Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by KingmakersTampa.com, which is an incredible work and play space private club in South Tampa, Midtown. Actually, go to KingmakersTampa.com, get more information. It's where the JP Peterson studio is, and it's also where you can work there. They have some nice private offices, have a very stylish conference room, a production studio as well, and also a golf simulator, a little workout place, all kinds of cool stuff at kingmakerstampa.com. Memberships are available, but they won't last long. kingmakerstampa.com. All right, thanks again for all your comments coming in. Really appreciate you guys. So I want to get to a couple other things that happened over the weekend. Michael LaRue says, by the way, interesting double dip yesterday as the Rays beat the Red Sox and the Sunday double dip over there. If you went to both games, I'd like to hear from you. That'd be interesting. Michael LaRue says, for as bad as Stu was with the fans, local communities, business partners, and politicians, he made the team competitive. Not championship caliber, but competitive. Vince DeMolay was way worse. Yeah, I mean, it's like Genghis Khan or Mao Zedong. I mean, yeah, I mean, one's better than the other. So I guess you can make that. Yeah. Douglas Batista said, not fan appreciation. It was Stu appreciation weekend. Isn't it what they normally do at the end of the season in the last game? Isn't it fan appreciation? Not here. Complete joke. Romano's column, no mention of Stu's partner's lawsuit. Treatment of Welch, Pinellas Commission, taxpayer expense incurred. The end is near. I appreciate that. Thank you, Douglas. Listen, I'm not going to go too far down the rabbit hole, but this is really beyond the pale. And it's partly because for this entire time, most of the local media has completely excused what Stu Sternberg has done over the years. I mean, when you really think about it, in terms of the new stadium that could have been had in Tampa in 2018, and Rick Kreisman, the mayor at the time, had a tremendous plan and said, look, because he knew what was coming. Kreisman knew that Major League Baseball was never going to allow another stadium to be built in St. Pete. He knew that. And he wanted to move on and build something wonderful, much more beneficial that would actually make the taxpayers money instead of give away billions of dollars to an owner who did nothing for that city. Listen, folks, the Tropicana Field has always been a money drain on the city because they got no revenues from the Rays, very little. I think it was 50 cents per ticket sold, but they had to provide all the security, the insurance, everything. We talked to Richie Floyd on the commission, city commission. He said this when he came on last with us. It's like, no, this is a complete money drain on the city. It always has been. And this new stadium would have been $2.4 billion drain. So thank God they dodged the bullet with that. But the fact that he screwed up development, walked away from a deal in Tampa that screwed up development in Tampa for almost a decade, all the jobs that have been lost and people waiting to develop in St. Pete and what could have been built on that Trop site. And then he strings everybody along for 6, 7, 8 years. And Pinellas spends millions of dollars on this new stadium deal. To city of St. Pete. I mean, everybody waiting at the beck and call of this guy. Millions and millions of dollars wasted for this dude. And you want to send him off with some type of flowers? This is real money. Real people have been hurt economically. His partners were defrauded. Like, go read the lawsuit. And you want to throw flowers at this guy because we won a few more games? Go read the lawsuit. Look at what's been done. And it's been totally glossed over for so long. Maybe it'll take this new group coming in to see what's possible and how easy it is to get a stadium done when you have actual owners that care about partnering with the community. I don't know. And all this, the employees love Stu. Look at the hats. Look at it. Really? How much did Stu? Did he give him $50,000 like Jeffrey Vinnick did? Did he give him $5? Did he give him a raise? Did he give him anything? Not that I heard of. $1.7 billion he's walking with, and he can't throw a bone to those employees that love him so much. I mean, are you serious? And then the whole ball boy thing. I mean, whatever. Listen,
it's kind of fun.
It was as ridiculous as his entire tenure as an owner. They're running after balls. Like, get out of here.
I do think
some regular guy when he's screwed over so many people for so long. No, I'm sorry. I'm not falling for it. I'm not. No, sorry.
All I'm going to say is this, JP. All I'm going to say is this.
Turn over the key. Please leave.
All I'm going to say is this. I think it's a little ridiculous to put him in the same category as Vince Namoli and what he did as then Devil Rays owner. I think that's a little ridiculous. We can talk about all the things Stu did or did not do rather within the community, both communities, and the fact that they've been running this shoestring budget for years and all these things that have made it more difficult on them. But I guess you can't gloss over the fact that during his ownership, the Rays did win a lot of baseball games. They did. I know, like, they never won the World Series, but listen, the fact that they got to 2 during his ownership regime and both came within 12 years of each other. I mean, outside of the really big boys in this league, there's not a lot of teams that could say that. They never got over that hump, and you can argue again, like I said, the salary cap constraints kind of made it difficult on themselves. I shouldn't say salary cap, but just not spending money on payroll and stuff like that. But they found innovative ways to win baseball games. He always put the right people in charge to go out there and execute the game plan. And, Andrew Friedman came through, and then Eric Neander came through. You've had continuity his entire time as an owner. I think you had 2 managers total this entire time. You had 2 GMs, I think, this entire time. Not a lot of teams can say that. There's a lot of things that Stu Sternberg did wrong, and I like to think he would admit that he would like to take some things back that he did. I really want to believe that. So, I mean, they were always going to give him some sort of send-off, so I wasn't, like, offended that they were doing any of that. The ball boy thing I thought was kind of fun. But, it's just like the official, we've closed that chapter of the book, of the Rays book. The Stu Sternberg era is no more, and hopefully we move on to bigger and better things. I think that's the way I'm looking at it. It's a complicated legacy to have because they did so much right on the field during his tenure, but so much off of it was nothing but turmoil. And I think his lasting legacy completely is he is the owner that failed to ever get a new stadium built, even though when he took over, it was like the number one thing on the docket. And in 20 years, it just never happened. I think that's unfortunately the lasting legacy of him.
Yeah, I can agree with a little bit of that, Nick. And I get the winning thing, but there's so much more to being an owner. There's so much more to being an owner. When you own a baseball team and you've been given a monopoly in this marketplace and you've been given hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue sharing and you stuck it in your pocket, when you've defrauded your partners and defrauded the communities in which you live and have made you so ridiculously rich, when you leave the city of St. Pete with a huge bill on the Trop, when you've made hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, $1 billion, way more than that, and you can't even give them $5 on the way out to help them rebuild the Trop. There's so much to it, to being an owner, which has been exemplified by the Glazers and the Lightning and Jeffrey Vinnick. And this guy has just been absolutely the opposite. And where you're just, a greedy little whatever, and that's your legacy. I don't give a shit about the winning. I don't give a crap about any of it. And I've talked to way too many people that have dealt with him, way too many business folks, and all the facts that are on the table that have been part of this ridiculous ownership. Randy having to buy tickets to go to Randy Land, putting up the banner during the playoffs, trying to sell this whole 2-city thing to build 2 cities out of hundreds of millions of dollars for stadiums. It's all about greed, money, all into his pocket and his cronies' pockets. I'm sorry. It's the worst representation of ownership I've ever seen. At least the Moley was somewhat of a sympathetic figure in some ways because he was just so socially awkward. I mean, I don't know. I know it's been a little personal for me, but I ain't a Lone Ranger here. That's for sure. And I'm just glad that this is over and we can move on as a community. And we'll see how much we thrive with this new ownership group and people supporting the owner. Nobody wanted to buy tickets from this guy. Nobody wanted to go to any park. And once he's gone, I think we're going to see a renaissance for the Rays that we have never really even thought about, especially with the new stadium in Tampa. I think it's going to be fantastic. And
good send off though for the Rays. I mean, the first and only season at Steinbrenner Field yesterday.
I thought it was great.
Being the Red Sox and how about Christopher Morel, the star of the show in the last home game at Steinbrenner Field? You can't script it, can you? But yeah, I'm bummed I didn't get to go to as many games as I would have liked this year at Steinbrenner. I know you went to a handful of them, obviously, and it seemed like everybody had a good time. They made it the entire way without a single rain out, which is just incredible.
How about that?
It was hot as hell, though. I'll tell you that one. It definitely was hot as hell. That was more of the issue. But, yeah, we had the send-off yesterday, and to end it with a win was nice.
All right, couple more comments I want to get to. George G says Gruden had a good take this week on the officials. He said we can get run out of cities as coaches, but there's no accountability or names or numbers on the officials. Hold them accountable. No, the NFL wants it that way. They want it to be as ambiguous as possible, just so they can basically control the games and the outcomes of the games. If you don't want to do it, make it more if you don't want people saying stuff like this, make it more transparent. The XFL has done that. The ACC is doing it. It's not hard, but you don't want to do that because you want to, for whatever reason. Nathan Stout says this: the legacy of Stu will always be 70% of the stadium cheering for Red Sox and Yankees. That's an ownership for continually running players out of the organization. Yeah, and pricing your fans out of those games. That was another one of his great legacies. Yeah, Thomas Casper says the new USF building and Moffitt Cancer Center were declined for Tropicana site in lieu of Stu's development. And what did that get you? So sad. I don't think people understand the cost of what this has been. The fact that they couldn't develop Tropicana Field and not going to be able to do it for another 3 or 4 years because the stadium was well past its life, and that's why the hurricane tore off the roof. The roof was 10 years past its life. And it's the fact that they never showed any urgency to replace it is the reason you were in the situation you were.
Oh, by the way, More Right Rudder just put at the bottom here what you were looking for. 81% of the money was on the under yesterday.
81% of the money. How about that? Right Rudder? 81% of the money. And you got a ball that it's dropped through his hands, laying on the ground, and we're going to call that a touchdown. Oh, and the game just went over. But if that's not a touchdown, the Bucs get the ball back. Maybe one first down, 2 first downs. Game is over, and they're kneeling on it. It's under, and the Bucs cover.
Hey, another thing. Someone
embarrassment.
Someone had put it in the comments, reminded me, but I can't find it at the moment. But reminder: tonight we have hockey. The Lightning make their preseason debut tonight, facing the Carolina Hurricanes. Before you know it, I think October 9th is opening night, JP. I want to say against Ottawa.
That's the home opener. Yeah, the road openers earlier than that. Yeah,
it's like the hockey season almost snuck up on us here. Almost out of nowhere. So I know you're looking forward to that. I'm sure the Lightning Vision team is going to outdo themselves again this year with what they do for home games, and I can't wait for that. Hockey season is almost here.
You said the league has commented on the Lazard catch, Christopher Cole. I haven't seen it. What could they possibly say? But I'll be interested to hear what they say.
League said it just came out from Greg Allman. He said the league said they were not 100% sure he did not have control when the ball touched the ground, which is what is required to overturn.
First of all, how do you call that a catch anyway? I mean, it's clearly the ball's coming out. How do you call that a catch? I ain't buying that. I could clearly see it. So could everybody else. All right. Hey, thanks again to all the commenters. Appreciate you guys, except for B. I banned him. He's done. You're done. You're done. You're toast. Go find some other show to heckle. Loser. Thanks to the rest of you.
Oh, real quick, last thing, and I hate to end the show on a downer, but I did want to mention this.
By the way, B, myself and my wife are going to shut you off from following our stories as well, because you're an effing weirdo, whoever you are. If I know you, you're a weirdo. So anyway, what'd you say?
Well, anyway, I'll transition to this with this unfortunately sad news over for my UCF family here, and I'm wearing my UCF stuff today. But offensive line coach Sean Clark has passed away. Tragically, I did want to make mention of that today, obviously. But 50 years old, leaves behind obviously a wife and 2 kids, I believe, and he had a medical emergency a week and a half ago. And they said, I mean, Coach Scott Frost had said earlier this week they had gotten positive news on him, but unfortunately he passed away, I think either last night or this morning. They just announced it. So really tough news for the UCF family, and I just wanted to mention that today.
I appreciate you mentioning that. Prayers to his family. That's horrible. 50 years old. Wow. Way too young. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow with more fun and frivolity and no B. So we will see you then.